with celebrities. So first of all, virtually all celebrities are nuts. I've spent a lot of time with celebrities, unfortunately. Many of them are just crazy as bleep. I mean, just nutty off the wall. Because the thing is, when you become a celebrity, you get utterly removed from reality. You're surrounded by a bubble of people who are sycophants or constantly telling you that everything you say and do is a good idea. It happens all the time, and that's the way this works. If you're a right-wing celebrity and you have the wrong politics and you say, woo, think everybody notices you're crazy. If you're a left-wing celebrity and you're crazy, but you say the right things, that is a shield and a sword for all of your nuttiness.
But these people are virtue signaling. They're trying to bring people down to raise their own status. And they say it's because, no, we're protecting minorities. Like, they're basically saying minorities haven't got a sense of humour, which is so patronising. And I get that as well, to what it's like to be outnumbered. In this country, we're still only 5% black, 5% Asian, 5% LGBTQ, you know, tiny numbers. Now, I'm a white, heterosexual multimillionaire, right? There's less than 1% of us. Do I whine? No. Yeah, but you shouldn't hurt people's feelings. Well, you can if their feelings are wrong.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't like the facts, don't change the facts, change the feelings.
Yeah.
You know.
Hollywood has reached peak woke, and let's be real. Most celebrities either bow to the woke mob or keep their lips zipped, terrified of the cancel culture squad. But not everyone's playing by those rules. In today's episode, Ricky Gervais, the king of blunt, no-filter comedy, pairs up with Ben Shapiro, the fearless conservative commentator, taking aim at the hypocrisy of Hollywood's woke elite, the celebrities. Ben Shapiro has been vocal in his criticism of woke celebrities and is strongly opposed to the idea of celebrity influence in U.S. politics.
When it comes to the 2024 election, there are a couple of points to be made, one for Republicans and one for Democrats. Let's start with the point for Democrats. Celebrities are not going to save you. And they've tried this before. Trying to drag a lackluster candidate over the finish line with celebrity tends not to work.
He takes a keen interest in how Taylor Swift, the queen of woke, has been making major moves on the political chessboard these days, and he had this to say.
That is not a good sign for your campaign. When you are starting to target Taylor Swift as like, if she endorses, oh my God, that's going to change everything. So first of all, we should point out, Taylor Swift did in fact endorse Joe Biden for president in 2020. It didn't really move the needle all that much because she's just a very famous pop star. Proposal, a moderate proposal. If you base your vote on who Taylor Swift endorses, you should not be allowed to vote in the United States. This doesn't hold just true for Taylor Swift. If you base your vote on the thoughts of celebrities who have spent 2 seconds engaging with politics, but you really like their songs, you should not be voting. If you are voting Republican based on the endorsement of Kanye West, if you are voting Democrat based on the endorsement of Taylor Swift, you should not be voting. That is not how politics is supposed to work.
Ricky Gervais also had something to comment about this woke agenda as he used the platform of Golden Globes 2020 to slam hypocritical Hollywood stars, warning winners against making political acceptance speeches.
So, if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and fuck off, okay?
The acerbic British comedian was also seen mocking major woke celebrities over their political endorsements in the video released on X, previously known as Twitter.
Hi guys, Ricky G here, wellness and beauty influencer. As a celebrity, I know all about stuff, like science and politics. So trust me when I tell you who you should vote for. If you don't vote the right way, that's like a hate crime, and it makes me sad and angry, and I'll leave the country, and you don't want that.
On X, Shapiro frequently criticizes what he perceives as virtue signaling by celebrities, where they advocate for socially progressive causes in a way that he believes is superficial or out of touch with the realities faced by ordinary citizens. He can be seen doing the same with Emma Watson, where he is calling out Watson in a sarcastic way for what he views as her idealistic and potentially naive stance on a complex issue like the refugee crisis. Tweet: if you've made it this far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join us in standing against the woke mind virus. Lately, the term woke has become a catch-all for various social movements, especially those surrounding LGBTQ issues and the push to normalize transgenderism. Over the past few years, we've been told that we shouldn't raise boys as boys or girls as girls, because we supposedly can't be certain of their gender at birth. Ben has been vocal about this, repeatedly calling it out as political propaganda.
Transgender activists make an objective claim about reality, based on subjective internal feelings. That's unsustainable. What's more, transgender activists demand that you abandon reason, biology, privacy, even the ability to raise your kids in concert with reality in favor of a delusional quasi-religious worldview in which gender and sex are completely segregated and a boy can be a girl and a girl a boy. This does mean that a society that seeks to propagandize to children that they can switch their gender is both lying to kids and doing them psychological harm in the process. Unfortunately, that's exactly what our society is now teaching kids in public schools. Anti-biological nonsense, including the lie that you might just be a different gender with different pronouns. Most shockingly, we're now a society that demands that parents hand over their kids to the tender mercies of political actors masquerading as medical specialists. If you have a 12-year-old at school with a headache, the school nurse cannot prescribe to them Tylenol without calling you first. But we now have officials in states and in the federal government suggesting that if a 12-year-old says that she is a boy, the school should be able to prescribe puberty blockers without calling a parent. That is a sick society.
The best weapon against the craziness of modern woke culture? A solid sense of humor. And as always, Ricky Gervais reigns supreme in that department.
You can get sued in this country for saying someone's gay if they're not, which is a homophobic law, because you can't be sued the other way around. You can't be sued for saying someone's not gay if they are, which seems unfair, doesn't it?
Ricky's never shied away from joking about the alphabet community and trans issues. So, of course, he couldn't resist commenting on one of the most famous trans celebrities, Caitlyn Jenner.
I'm going to be nice tonight. I've changed. Not as much as Bruce Jenner, obviously. Now Caitlyn Jenner, of course. What a year she's had. She became a role model for trans people everywhere, showing great bravery in breaking down barriers and destroying stereotypes. She didn't do a lot for women drivers.
Later in his show, he said,
And the big controversy last time I did it was a Caitlyn Jenner joke, right? Oh, outrage on Twitter the next day. And by outrage, I mean a couple of people going, it was transphobic. It wasn't transphobic in the slightest. It was a joke about a trans person, but the joke had nothing to do with that aspect of her existence.
Of course, he faced backlash from left-wing critics for what they called dead-naming her. So, what exactly does dead-naming mean? It's when someone refers to a transgender or non-binary person by the name they used before transitioning, like their birth name.
And I found out my crime was that I dead-named her. Now, I'd never heard that term, before a day after the Golden Globes, and that was saying her old name and even acknowledging that she used to be a man. But she did. I saw him on the Olympic Games. It was decathlete. It was in everything. He was all over the place. Shot put and pole vault. He won a medal. He was famous. He was on telly all the time. But, a big, famous man with a huge, I don't know, but I mean, I guess he probably, he's a big, but I've learned my lesson. Now, I'd never dead name her now. Now I know it's wrong. I'd never dead name her now.
Gervais has always used his sharp humor to call out the hypocrisy of woke celebrities. With his unhinged, direct attacks on the privileged class, Ricky's harsh jokes are probably the toughest adversity Hollywood's faced all year.
Last one. Come on, guys. Our next presenter starred in Netflix's Bird Box, a movie where people survive by acting like they don't see a thing. Sort of like working for Harvey Weinstein. You did it. I didn't. You did it. Shut the fuck up.
He took a dig at Hollywood stars' connections to Harvey Weinstein. The disgraced producer was a fixture on the awards show circuit just a few years ago, despite the fact that Weinstein's many alleged sexual assaults were something of an open secret in the entertainment world. Gervais underlined his point by jesting.
So, well, you say you're woke, but the companies you work for, I mean, unbelievable. Apple, Amazon, Disney. If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent, wouldn't you?
Ben never holds back while exposing double standards of left-wing people.
And I just want to point out once more that the social standards that the left holds when it comes to culture just do not exist. They do not exist. Violence against women, apparently totally okay. You don't get canceled over that anymore, depending on who you are and what kind of art you perform. The lyrics that are overtly anti-gay, totally fine, so long as you also hate Donald Trump. So long as you are seen as a weapon against the system, the left is willing to take you back in, and hilariously, corporations are willing to use you as their spokespeople, and you're willing to take their money. This is really corrupt and perverse little tie, but
Shapiro's sharp critiques and Ricky's biting yet spot-on humor are playing a key role in exposing the hypocrisy of woke celebrities. Their combined efforts are pulling back the curtain on the performative aspects of Hollywood's most outspoken stars.